Hello everyone. It's a new day, and hopefully you guys are hearing me from my actual good microphone. Just waiting until I see some people come in. Hey Ellie. Hey everyone. Okay, let's go ahead and show the live feed. Yeah. Alright. Cool. Hey everyone, I hope you're having a great weekend so far. You're just about to play Super Smash Bros. You hear me? Great, awesome. Haven't been this early in the minute, yeah. Yeah, I'm usually not this early at all, to be completely honest. Hey, from Indonesia, cool. Gonna move my microphone a little bit, it might get a little noisy. Yeah, I'm gonna be streaming a lot more, so don't worry if you miss it. So, because it's gonna be pretty often. I'm thinking minimum 5 times a week, and then I'm also I'm looking at streaming on Twitch, but that's gonna be a few weeks from now, maybe next week, who knows. You can't wait to learn this. Yeah, I need to go ahead and get on topic for anyone who's gonna watch later. But after the last stream where I drew Genie and how well it did, I'm definitely looking at trying to focus less on, typical human anatomy and focusing more on the shapes. And that's why I kind of have this somewhat low-res picture. I mean, you can't really see any details in her eyes or her mouth, but the shapes in this portrait are pretty pronounced. I'd say they're very pronounced shapes. And so I want to try and capture them, make them aesthetic, and not worry too much about the likeness for this one. I got this portrait from Pinterest. I don't know who she is. Maybe she's famous, maybe she's not. But I'm just going to focus on the shapes for today. Thanks, Jack. 5 times a week, yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how people respond to that volume, but, we'll see. Reference photos, I usually find them on Pinterest, sometimes on Instagram. I'm thinking of making a new Instagram where I just follow models, and I can go to that Instagram page when I want to look for new portraits, because I really do like picking from Instagram more, because you get to see that person or the photographer and everything that they do and get more of a sense for who they are, and I always feel like that makes the art better. So that's just me, but in Pinterest you can kind of get down a rabbit hole sometimes, and I pulled up a picture today and it was just full of, the same kind of portrait where the girl has this super bright highlighter all over her face. And it was like, alright, I'm not getting a creative vibe from this. But I found this one that I picked up before, and I was able to actually see that, this one I do feel like there's a pretty big avenue to be creative with this one. So yeah, I don't know how it's going to end up, but I always just focus on learning the anatomy, making sure the anatomy is good first, and then go into thinking about what she's actually going to be doing. My first thing that I'm thinking about for this one is making her head halfway up in water or something, but yeah. Hey Maddie, thank you so much for the donation. And you're about to start at Starbucks. Yeah, that's a pretty decent idea. It's something that I really could have done as well, but everyone has a different path. I'm guessing you're going to be working as a barista, so yeah, that's a pretty good job. Oh, hi, person with the Russian name. I see you're verified. I'm gonna be there soon, hopefully. Hopefully this year, guys, I can get verified on YouTube. That's gonna be so cool. I hope I don't abuse my verified power. You know the person I'm drawing, Yelsier? Oh, that'd be great to know who it is without having to do any research. Alright, I'm gonna focus on getting the nose shape down and not really worry about the location. Oh my god, how many songs do you think there are that have the "Hey, listen" sample from Zelda in it? It's like, it's not a lo-fi song if it doesn't have that one line from Zelda. I wish you the best of luck with, by the way, Maddie. I wonder how you came by your decision, if it was like something you were thinking about for a long time, or no, like it was sudden. I deserve it. Hey, listen. Do you like to draw even though you're rubbish? Or even though you say you're rubbish, Milky Waves? Because I find that's the most important thing. It's like, if you like to draw, then that can overcome whether you feel like you're rubbish or not. I like using that word, rubbish. That's a rubbish drawing. That's rubbish. You got to use it in British accents when you're talking. You want to donate 49 PHP. I don't know what that is, but cool. I feel like it used to be hard to balance life and architecture on YouTube. Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, it's definitely been a challenge, and it's taken a toll in many different ways. But I do really like the things I've learned by trying to balance that. I feel like I wouldn't have made it as far as I have if I had all the time in the world from the beginning. Like, something about being able to make the most of just such little time is really good. I keep doing the details. I'm supposed to be focusing on the shapes. So I'm like focusing on getting that really big triangular shape for the head, and then another kind of triangular shape for, I actually want to pull up the picture on my, I actually have a monitor now. The one I used to use at work is like right in front of me over there, and I'm using that to look at you guys in the chat. You're in two places, and then there's also one on the left side. Am I too quiet, guys? Can you hear me? Because I was checking before and it's like, it's hard to tell. Yeah, I do have the 256 gigabyte iPad. Drawing from memory? No. That's going to be on my list of things to start training. I want to be able to draw stuff significantly from my mind or from memory. Because I feel like that's where drawing gets really fun, where you can begin to create purely without needing reference just to start. Like, I want to get to the point where reference is just for like, oh, I need a reference for this exact position, or I need a reference for, you know, this hairstyle or this clothing style. That's where I want to be able, that's where I want to be using references, not for, all right, I don't know how to make a human. And that's not bad. I mean, that's something, that's a very advanced skill that I'm talking about. So don't feel bad if you can't do that, because I can't even right now, but it's definitely a goal of mine. Yeah, this iPad is perfect for me. My hands are, I'd say, above average, but not the biggest, because I'm not that tall. I'm only 5'10", which is the exact average height for a male in at least the United States. So yeah, I'm trying to get everything centered in this facial triangle. I like how I heard Istabrak, she's also a fantastic art YouTuber, and she calls it the beauty triangle. I don't know if that's an official name, but I think it's imperative to visualize faces like that. Like it's such an easy way to visualize faces and make them be, just to understand them easily, even if you don't want to make, conventionally attractive people all the time. It's a good starting point so that you know what you're doing when you're starting to move things around. Trying to really simplify and understand the shape of the eyebrow as it curves around her temple right now. Wow, the chat's actually going fast to the point where I can't read everything. Relaxing stream, yep. Placement of the features is accurate, yeah. I find when I stop worrying about matching the placement of the features with the shape of the head, I do a little bit better, and then I can fix things a little bit later on. It's really hard with art because you want to be all romantic all the time and do things the right way, the proper way, but sometimes you just gotta get down and dirty and do what works for you, because at the end of the day, it's like people want to see the results, and nobody cares too much about the process. Other artists will, but that's really it. Unless the process is entertaining, or unless you make the process entertaining like I try to do. Use the iPad to keep it angled. I usually use this stand right here. You can find it in the link in the description, but I'm not using it right now. Right now, I'm actually using my glasses case. It's not sponsored, but I do wear glasses by Warby Parker. But yeah, I'm using my glasses case. So with all the expensive stuff you see on my channel, there's me using my glasses case as an iPad stand. So yeah, don't ever let me make you think you have to have an iPad or expensive stuff to do anything I'm doing. Olzang, I've never heard of that. Painted with oil paints, yes, as a kid, I hated it. And I've also painted with them in 2012 before when I was like an art camp thing, and I hated it. But yeah. You don't want to doze off at work? Yeah, my streams will do that to you. You see how long the stream has been going on for? Oh, 112. Hi, people. I think my record was 131. I wonder if next time I'll beat that. How long has it been going? Where's the time? Oh, okay, there we go. 13 minutes. I'm pretty proud of myself. Layers I usually end up with. So layers is something that it depends. So for this one, I only use one layer for a long time, and then the first layers I'll add will be a layer for the hair and a layer for the clothes or anything below the neck. So usually I'll end up with 3 layers, and then I'll add another layer for like the background value, so that ends up with 4 layers. So the background value, the main sketch, the hair, and then clothing, etc. Then as I start to progress, depending on, it can either stay at 4 layers, or for something like this, it can get to be crazy. So these are the 2 final layers, and you can see I have like 11 plus layers of just little things that I just add in the moment. And it's like there's a few layers for just the eyes, and like layer for different values in the hair, and then sometimes I want to blur the hair and do a blur effect, so that can turn into 3 layers. So, but that's when I start getting near the end and start having fun and doing some effects. But most of the time I just use 4 layers. But yeah, The Belkin thing is just a case to hold the original Apple Pencil, and I like it because it looks cool, and I can just put my pencil there when I don't feel like holding it. You'll be here in my Twitch streams? Yes. Thanks, Betty. I do have a Twitch. You can go, I think you can just type in Ergo Josh Twitch and it should come up on Google or something. And you can follow me there. But the reason I don't like streaming on Twitch is because I was like, even when I had, by the time I got my first 1,000 subs, consistently every time I streamed on YouTube, I would have viewers. And now I can have up to like, it's 116 right now. If I go to Twitch right now, it'll be at 0 for like 15-20 minutes, and then I'll get a few people to slowly trickle in. And it's like, well, if I'm drawing and I want people to see it, then why not do it on YouTube? You know? But at the end of the day, I realize that it's just that Twitch is a much more difficult platform to start from if you're doing live streams and you're not doing gaming. So if you want to start on Twitch and you're not doing gaming, it's gonna take a lot of just grinding it out and doing your best. Another reason I'm not doing Twitch yet is because I know people like to see faces on Twitch, and so my camera's kind of out of commission right now, and I want to wait till I move to fix all that up. And so I'm gonna give Twitch another really big chance when I move and get my new studio set up and all that. And then I'll have I'll have a really good internet so that I can stream both to Twitch and to YouTube. And then eventually, once I can have like some decent, like at least guaranteed 10 viewers within the first 10 minutes of streaming on Twitch, then I'll probably start doing different days. Or like my ideal is to stream a little bit less on YouTube and then stream like almost every day, if not every day, on Twitch, because I do plan to draw every day, and it's like, why not live stream it? And then I won't have to worry about making these cool titles and all that, because I'll just be like, hey, today I'm drawing this, and you know, I'm just drawing, and if you want to hang out, you can hang out. It'll be cool. Am I streaming tomorrow? Yes, because there's no video tomorrow. Yeah, there won't be a video tomorrow because I don't have time because I just quit. So, but I am going to have a video on Wednesday because I've noticed the algorithm is like, Josh, I'm going to punish you. You haven't been posting videos very much lately. And I'm like, no. So, yeah. I'm definitely going to post. I'm thinking I'm going to try and put out 2 videos a week. I didn't think I'd be able to sustain that before, but I don't know. We'll see. Because I've noticed there's a lot more less effort videos that people do enjoy, which are pretty much just me streaming, but the same as my streams, but a little bit different. And people are really enjoying those videos. Tips for drawing noses. Start with a triangle shape for the bottom and try to think of the nose as like you should practice drawing little triangular cubes and just understand the nose is basically a big flat triangle for the bottom, and then the flat top, and then the flat sides. And if you can just get that down and draw that in any angle, you should be able to draw any nose you want. That really helped me. Just understanding the nose is just a big flat piece on the bottom really helped me draw them. And like, they're one of my favorite things to draw now because they're so easy for me and it's fun. So it's like, oh, I can just change it to be like whatever I want. I used to draw noses like this actually. I would be very strict about that. And I would do this. That. This is the bottom shape that I'm talking about. It's not exactly a triangle, but you know, And then I would just do that. And then I would just make this like little button shape. And that used to be how I draw noses. So, and I just have a nice little highlight wherever I want. You know, yeah. Algorithm, yeah. How did I learn the anatomy of the face? I did a lot of tracing. I'm actually going to show you. I mean, I learned the Loomis method and all that, and I practiced that a lot. But I would actually, like, myself try to break the face down into different shapes and try to teach myself a way that made sense to me. So I would do this. Like, you're not going to find a book that shows that in it. But this made sense to me, breaking it down into one big triangle. And you saw me when I started this. I started with these two shapes. I don't really worry about the rest. It's really just these two, the mask, if you will. And then once you got those down, yeah. And then eventually I moved on from tracing them on photos because, you know, I'm not here to draw photorealistic people. That's not what I want to do. I want to do them on actual art. So I picked some of my favorite artists and I did it too for them. Then I would trace their work, which sounds crazy, but, you know, I didn't upload it or anything. And then I would copy it again. So I actually haven't showed this on a live stream before. Maybe I'll find it. But they're my studies of Ross Draws stuff. So, like, for example, this is like something I traced of Ross, and then I copied it. Like, I just drew it by looking at it, by right next to it immediately after. And it's amazing how good you can draw something right after you've traced it. And so I did that for a lot of stuff, and that helped me kind of merge the realism and the kind of semi-realism together, and really understand it, because he has such a good understanding of shapes. Like, you can see the background. Oops, let me hide that. Let me make sure this is PG. You can see the background here, and then where I added kind of the shapes that I was studying, and then I drew it again by myself on this side. And so, yeah. So that's kind of how I taught myself how to study. It's very controversial, but hey, you know, I am proud of it because it worked, and I'm definitely going to do a video about it in the near future. I want to be like, I'm going to title it like, what your art teachers don't want you to know. Why do I feel like she's starting to look like Rihanna? Oh, we're at 136 viewers. That's awesome. You want them free brushes bad. You should have come here a long time ago. 4,000 people got the free brushes. I'm pretty happy with that number. Yep. These lips. She's a Japanese German. Ooh, that sounds fun. Oh, 140 people watching. Okay, we broke the record today. That's pretty cool. Breaking records on a Saturday afternoon. Yeah, I'm not gonna really worry about it looking like her. I'm just gonna focus on, does it look like a human? And then making sure that I actually understand the shapes that are there. So yeah, Rihanna drawing. I'm here for it. Our teachers hate him for this. Your art teacher will hate me. Like, yeah, those are some good titles. She looks too much like, ooh, look at me. Like, I want her to look like this one where it's like, I'm ethereal. I'm just here breathing. That's what I want it to look like. I guess it's just ingrained since I keep drawing, you know, those pretty Pinterest girls. Yeah, this is the first time I've erased so far, which is pretty cool, I think. Hey. So curvy faces, yeah. Yeah, the Asian women are much easier to draw for me than Asian men. Usually men are easier for me to draw, but when it comes to the natural shapes for Asian women, it's like it just makes sense, but for men it's just like I lose control. I'm looking for an anchor and I can't find it. They're tricky. But somehow my drawing of Jimin from BTS still did really well. I was like, oh, I basically didn't even draw him because it looks nothing like him. Blend of Asian and Western. Ah, that kind of makes sense why the initial sketch isn't looking like her exactly. I'm trying to stray away from I feel like I'm getting a little bit too realistic lately. I'm gonna bring her chin back. She's looking a little bit too old. Not like old, but like I want her to look young and cute like she does in the reference. D'Angelo Wallace. Oh yeah, I'm subbed. I'm a fan. It's a very unique channel. I really I liked him even more after I watched his interview with Emily Artful. I can't remember her name. I didn't know who she was before his video with her. There go Josh, Asian man. But yeah, he's dope. And I like his aesthetic too. And it's really funny because his content, I saw his videos a long time ago, but his content is so different because he used to do like the video I discovered him with was the video where he tried to follow which artist is it? A Wallop or Guiez tutorial. Hi, Ergo. Hi. How aesthetic I am. Oh, thanks. Yes. I agree. I think so as well. Pretty feminine. You do animations and you make parodies to check out. Ergo, will the cactus table ever be replaced? Yes. I keep replacing all of my little fake plants. Before, I used to have Stitch on the show. This is Stitch. But he's too big. So, yeah. I like the smaller aesthetic. Still trying to understand these lips right now. Gotta add some shading to get it to work. Stitch, we still love you even if Virgo thinks you're big. Traditional drawing live stream anytime soon? It's gonna be a while. Like that's on my list of training exercises to do things in traditional, but yeah, if I do that, it's gonna be on Twitch. That's gonna be where I do it first because it's not gonna be good. Twitch is gonna be like my behind the scenes streaming place. I'm not getting this shape right, guys. You can see I'm struggling here way more than anywhere else. Ergo goes traditional. Ergo goes traditional. Yeah. I tried traditional art. You guys are helping me come up with so many great YouTube titles. Play any video games? I haven't in a long time, but I'm going to really soon. And I'm going to buy a PS4, and I haven't played games in a long time, and on a console it's been several years since I played, and I'm going to get, don't spoil me, but I'm going to get Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm going to get Final Fantasy 15, because yeah, those are like some of my favorite game franchises that have influenced my art a lot. And yeah, I remember one person was like, oh, you should do some Let's Plays, I'll watch it. And I'm like, oh boy. It's so ridiculous to think somebody would actually watch that from me. But hey, maybe I could like compete with ZHC and do like, I do a gaming Let's Play and drawing live stream at the same time. You gotta click on that. It's like I play a game and I beat this boss and I draw him at the same time. You fall asleep listening to any of the trailers I dub. I'm planning to do some ASMR themed videos since I have this new microphone, and I'm so happy that it's working. Compared to my last live stream, if you go to my last live stream with the video where it's called Drawing Genie, compare the audio with this one, you'll notice it's a pretty big difference. Olzang to find his references. Pants. This is okay, I'm just not satisfied with there's a certain aspect of the original picture that I wanted to capture, and I feel like I'm not capturing it. Maybe it's the likeness, I don't know. But then again, here's one of the biggest issues with drawing like I do. When you draw someone and it's just line work, it will look very different from how it will look if you paint it. And it'll look so different to the point where, and I don't think this is really based on skill, I think this is just how it is. Like if you draw a sketch without any shading, it's going to look very different from if you actually shade it or paint it. And sometimes it won't look right even though it is right. An example is like, try to trace a picture and look at it, it'll look pretty bad. If you try to just trace a picture line by line, it's gonna look pretty bad. Yeah. So it's always tricky to know, like, did I do a good job with this sketch or is it bad? I don't know yet. Yeah, it's like a risk. The new microphone is a blessing. Good. Yeah. It was a pretty big investment, but I'm very, very happy with it. Very happy because I never have to do any noise reduction anymore. Like there's like, you can't notice any noise, especially when I have music in the background. But even when I don't, should you use a grid? No. I used a grid a lot, and it took me another 6 months when I was an adult to learn actually how to draw without it. So don't. Trust me, you will figure it out if you keep doing it. You don't need a grid. Audrey Mika. Oh, okay. Cool. I'll keep her in mind. Not really, because I've already tested a lot of different softwares. And I just keep coming back to Procreate. Partially because, once you've developed skill and proficiency in one, if you're not willing to spend hours and hours and hours failing in the other one because you're not used to it, then you're never going to switch over. And then I honestly keep feeling like when it comes to pros and cons, Procreate keeps winning, for me at least. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can't remember the last time I actually counted in Spanish. If you're wondering, no, I don't speak Spanish. That is the only thing I know how to say in Spanish. What is this? What is this, Josh? I made her look so good already. Yeah. Thanks. I need to finish my Billie Eilish, but this hair, man, that hair, I don't want to do it. When did I start to draw professionally? What do you mean by that? Like when I got paid for art? I mean, technically somebody paid me for an artwork when I was very young, like 14. So drawing professionally is a tough thing to judge when that happened. Why are placing ears so difficult? Like, got the iPad and stuff. I got my first iPad to draw with like late 2017, like October-ish. Yeah, basically when I did my unboxing video. Yeah. The unboxing video I did for my first iPad. Oh wait, no. That's for this iPad. I never unboxed my first iPad. Yeah. So estimate about a year before that video. So that would be about 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years ago in November of this year. Getting this curve and the distance of the neck so it looks right is also tricky. As you can see, the initial circle I did isn't really a reference for the head, but it's a reference for this curve of the head, and it kind of stops here and stops right there, getting that kind of curve. There's a lot of ways you can start with a circle to get your drawing to look right. I'm very bad at drawing like really nice curves, like other pro artists seem to be able to do so effortlessly. I'm drawing a lot of lines also because the glare from my lighting is on my iPad and it's hard for me to see. I really like this curve right here. Increase the opacity a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. Do I typically work on many drawings at once or finish one and work on the next? Most often I do many drawings at once. Lately it's gotten shaken up, but for example, my live streams on YouTube, I want to focus on doing a different drawing every time. So it's more entertaining, and it's also good for me because it's more practice. This part of the drawing is the hardest. If I were to just focus on doing art and stop caring about my YouTube, I would start another drawing now and get to where this part takes so little time. But yeah, because this is the hardest part, because once you have this kind of armature down, like all these other details are pretty easy when you have clothes, at least. I will say, like, my next part that I'm struggling to learn is hair, and then this area of anatomy, the shoulders and the clavicle bone and the neck muscles and all that. And then eventually I'm going to go back to doing full body stuff. I've gotten a lot better with that, but I'm not at the point where I can get myself to really like it. Like, one of my favorite, when it comes to anatomy, my favorite artist for doing that is Kushinaviliya. His stuff is so simple, but it looks so good, and people love it because the anatomy is so good. It's like perfect. He has such a good vision for it, and he can do it so fast. She wants a little bit more curve in her neck. I can't give you any advice for landscapes. All I can say is start very, very basic and blocky, and then slowly work into the details. Bad habits a beginner artist should quit. Hating your art and spending a long time on your art. Like, you shouldn't be spending 30 hours on a piece of art as a beginner. Like, you should be drawing a lot. You should focus on volume. I can say that confidently. No matter who you are, volume is the most important. I feel like her head is not nearly as tilted up, but I don't know if that's a matter of something I can fix by rotating her head, or did I just get the anatomy off? I'm gonna try rotating her head. What? Sometimes Procreate be like that. Yeah, there we go. Her head is more shaped like that. But then I feel like her neck is now way too far away. I almost like it like that, but I'm gonna see if I can make it a little bit less weird. This is also why I like digital art, because I wouldn't have been able to fix that if I was doing traditional. So yeah. I think your shoulders are just way too narrow. Thank you. She's tanning herself on that picture. Yeah, Kushinaviliya is awesome. Meanwhile, ZHC, practice volume. Focus on the main 3D shapes. So that's the sphere, the cylinder, the cube, and the triangular pyramid. Everything you see can be broken up into those 4 basic shapes. So practice drawing those, and practice drawing them with different lightings, and practice drawing them like close together with other ones, and then get to the point where you can just say, hey, I'm gonna draw a cube and a sphere inside of each other and pick a light source and just draw it from your mind. That's how you practice volume. I learned that from Mr. Brack. She has a very specific way. She like calls it form studies, and that's basically what it is. So it's extremely helpful because really everything is broken into that shape. For example, the eyes are broken into just a sphere, and then the face is kind of a triangular. This is kind of the shape of the face if you were to break it down once you did that study. It's this thing, And once you learn how to draw it in perspective, you'll be able to understand where to put the eyes. You'll know the eyes are like lined up here. And then you know it's basically a sphere attached to that. Well, much larger, but yeah. And then you'll be able to kind of wrap the skin around it. And you'll know what parts catch the light. And then, yeah. So, that's how you do it. Just want to be extra clear. Yeah, water balloon. Definitely way better. I've also been thinking about making a Facebook page for contests and stuff, because the emails are difficult to keep up with. But the thing is, I feel like a lot of people don't have Facebook, but at the same time, a lot of people do have Facebook, because if they didn't have a lot of people using Facebook, then Facebook wouldn't be the giant it is today. So it's confusing, because I know Discord is the only thing I'm using right now as a community, and it's just a very different type of thing. It's very casual, and even less people can have it because it's usually for gamers. Most people don't just have a Discord or are willing to just make a Discord for one thing. But most people are normies, hurry. That's the problem. Definitely not the reference. You can tell the sketch. Yeah, that's fine. If you used it's from the sketch, if you use the sketch, that's perfectly fine. It doesn't have to look like the reference. It's just, it shouldn't. If I look at it and I'm like, oh, this person clearly didn't just submitted some other artwork they did, that's gonna be the problem, you know? I just don't want people submitting stuff that they've already done. Like, I want it to be something new, because the point is to get you to draw stuff. Because I know drawing something for a challenge is much, much funner than just drawing for practice or just because for a lot of people.
It's gonna be hard to do.
47 minutes, not bad.
Because what happens?
Hey Josh, for the contest, can you change the girl's expression? Yeah. Go right ahead. I'm gonna focus on adding the details and just do the hair later. Sorry if you're here for me to draw the hair, but I'm gonna do that after the stream, because it's pretty hard to draw stuff like that. Start stuff like that when I'm in this position. I can't really look at how things are looking as a whole, because right now, like, a lot of my vision is blocked by my microphone. Can't wait to show you guys my setup right now that I have. It's pretty bad, so I'm only going to show you once I have my new setup. Do I have an Instagram? Yeah. You can type in ! Instagram and it will show you my Instagram. And you can, I don't have the link, but yeah. When am I gonna get to the hair? Yeah, no, I want to add the details. It is Twitch though. I'm trying to make her lips look more Asian or Korean. I think somebody said she's Korean and German. Japanese and German. Oh. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I like using pink because it's a very vibrant, passionate color. At least, you know, the hot pink variation that I use. But the reason I don't use black is because I'm very messy with my sketches and I tend to go overboard, and when I use a dark color too early, it just gets too messy. So I prefer to do the initial sketch, feel free to mess up as much as I want, and yeah. If you look at my last live stream, you'll see I did switch it to black and white eventually. Sketches using cyan. Blue. Yeah, that's a good fun color as well. It's a lot brighter. I think 10 and a half inches is enough. Yeah, it depends on your hand size. For me it's not enough, but yeah. What is ulzang? I think I've heard of that before. Do I draw for a living? No, not really. But how long it took to get to this point is technically my whole life. I mean, I feel like every drawing experience you've had, at least I've had, has been important to this. But since I typed in Ergo Josh for the first time, then if you want to know that, then that's going to be about I can't remember. It was in January of either 20. No, it was, yeah. Ergo Josh started beginning of 20. No, it wasn't the beginning. It started beginning of 2018, really. Yeah. What the nani? What the what? 11 inches is fine. Is a Korean style. Huh. Ulzang. I need to type that in as my title. And like, Josh Charles Ulzang Korean style. And then be like, what's that word, Korean word for hello again? 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. Best face. Ah, yes. I think I've heard of that before. That kind of sucks that there's a term like that, but it's like, I guess it's rooted in the culture. 안녕. Well, trying to read it doesn't help me, but thanks. How did you type it in Korean so fast? Is anyone actually Korean? So it's possible to have ulzang if you're not Korean and you're Japanese? Oh. Cool. Drawing the Mona Lisa. Oh, that would be fun. Do you like a modern Mona Lisa and put like hella highlighter on her face? I need to pull up the bigger image on my computer and see. Okay. I feel like her face is sticking out way more than the reference, but it's like, it's cool. I wonder if I want to make her chin a little bit like more in. Yeah, make it a little bit more in. Good luck trying to get into art school. I don't think they're that hard. I mean, it's definitely not as much as like an engineering school. What size canvas? Right now this one is 4,000 by 4,000 pixels. I don't know if I wanted to look at the viewer or just look into space. I think I like looking into space more. Because that's also easier for me to draw. Or looking up. I like that one. The eye looks a little off. Yeah, that's better. And do some small lines to suggest the hair. Just to start getting a feel for it. Still not gonna draw all of the hair. Having some fun, having a little creative freedom with this. There's a little bun at the top. This, as much as you like Josh's streams, this final is the one to remember. Oh, yes, go ahead. The final won't always be there, but I'll always be here. How many pictures did I trace? I don't know. A lot. I'd say not up to 200. Yeah. Flip the canvas and check. Yeah, it's still way too far out. I think I might cheat and just use the liquify tool. Usually I'd notice something like that in the beginning. Let's see, where is it? I'm gonna make a backup first because these can get tricky and go awry very quickly. So, all right, let's see, liquify. Yeah. It's like really subtle. Actually, I'm gonna flip it back first. Okay. Use the tool at your disposal, not cheating. Yeah, I agree. I was really just kidding, but yeah. Yeah, I've seen plenty of pros use it too. I'm gonna drink some water, hopefully you guys don't hear it. I'm just gonna mute myself. Where is it? Alright. Hey, there's a Discord link, guys. Have fun. I used to have a job. I quit yesterday. Is quiz. I used to work as a design professional in an architecture firm. And yes, I did go to architecture school. But, oh, the music end? I was wondering why I was so silent for a while. Let's find another track. You guys are getting to just hear all the sounds in my room right now. Hope it's not too awkward. Dun dun. The music is from Chill Hop. Their YouTube channel should be linked in the description. I think I'm gonna do some Zelda and chill for the last bit of the stream. I'm gonna stream for 21 more minutes. Try to keep my streams around 90 minutes long, at least for YouTube. Hey, there we go. Oh, really? Nice. Thanks for getting me an extra view, Miku. 1, 2, 3, 4 a.m. in India. Oh boy. You guys are dedicated. Add some value to the top lip. Very sloppy with my shading because I always like to blend, which isn't the best piece of advice, but that's how I do it. BOTW? Probably not if I don't know what that is. Heard of Study Girl? No. What is that? Is that the girl in the videos of all the music that says chill beats to relax and study to? I think why I draw in pink is in the description, or otherwise I've answered it already. What was your question? Consider live streaming around the time of day more often? Oh yeah, for sure. Now that I don't work during this type of day. I mean, I always do it on the weekends anyway. But yeah. I want to get my European viewers to see me too. It seems like, I don't know. Either my United States viewers don't talk in the chat, or my outside of the United States viewers are more active in the live streams. Because most of my views comes from people in the United States. Which only makes sense because, you know, I live in the United States and the United States has the most people who use YouTube, I think. I know the place with the most views is like California, for at least my channel. Using my mixer brush to blend now. Proco is awesome. I recently saw his video of how he started, and it was so inspiring because, like, Like when he showed how like janky his setup was, that made me feel so much better about my setup. My setup is a lot better because I started out with more, and I'm, you know, I'm a lot younger than him, but still, it's like seeing his pictures of his bedroom trying to film is just like so similar to how it looks around here. And yeah, and even without that, his videos are extremely helpful, and I have watched a fair share of them while I was training to start this channel, if you will. But yeah, it's like if you want to understand the Loomis method and you've never heard it, you go to Proco. Like, it's like, where else would you go? And I was worried for him a little bit because it was like, I hope he doesn't focus too much on the caricature side of things, but he's made himself and his company into a very nice generalist kind of art hub to learn a lot of different things, and all of the basic stuff. So yeah. And also another really popular YouTuber I like is Jazza. I remember when he was like just the coolest guy on newgrounds.com back in those days. He's grown quite a bit. It's pretty cool to see him grow, and then now I'm like here in the same niche, which is completely unexpected. Alfonso Dunn, yeah, I remember him too. He has a lot of subs, like 500 plus K. Yeah, he started like way back. Like he was doing those super basic, like top-down videos, how to draw this character from a cartoon show. Yeah, he was aspiring as well. I looked up a lot of these people when I was starting, because you know, it was like, when I was starting, I'm like, is there anyone else besides, you know, all the girls, you know, like Sarah Tepes and Draw with Waffles and Bailey J. Like, I was like, are there any, you know, other types of channels out there? And then I discovered Alfonso Dunn and, you know, all these different people. Not that those people's channels are bad, I'm just saying, like, I was like, is it possible for me to have a place? And then somebody told me about Minnie Smalls, who's like, people also think she's like this ASM artist, and her content is really, really enjoyable to watch as well. Spread the word, yes. Spread the word, 100K. It slowed down a little bit. I got like slingshotted up to 82K because of one video. Like I basically skipped through 60K and 70K because of that video, which is amazing. How long does it take me to finish a portrait? Around 6 hours. This one took about 6 hours. Six and a half. It's gonna say more time, but I have to subtract some because during the live stream I don't always draw, and I leave the canvas open a lot in the beginning. So it says 6 hours and 55 minutes, but it's probably just no, that was video length. Wait a second. Yeah, it says 6 hours and 48 minutes, but it's probably just 6 hours. So, but it also depends on how difficult it was for me. 200K. Like realistically, I'm slated to hit about 110, 120 my goal for this year was 100. But since I quit my job, there's still 7 months left. So it's possible. That would be great though, because sponsors really are still looking at only subscriber counts when it comes to how they treat you and how they pay you, which is like annoying because not only does that not matter anymore, but clearly when I do review videos, I'm able to get, you know, views that are much higher than what I should get from my channel because people really like my review videos. But yeah, so getting subs still helps, even though a lot of people think, oh, it's just all about the algorithm. It helps because sponsors and stuff still are like very much paying attention to your sub count. I keep getting like requests from channel networks, and I'm sure if you've been on YouTube for a little bit, you know channel networks are very, very, very looked down upon, and I keep getting contacted by them. Ooh, 154 people watching. Ooh, new record. Jeez, that's crazy. I just thought it was, here I was thinking it was slowing down. But yeah. Make tutorials. Yeah, tutorials are tricky. They're very tricky because you have to have something different to say and make it clear, or else people will just skip over it. Render noses. I usually start by adding a nice soft tone to the bottom because that's where the shadow is. Like that. And then I focus on thinking about it as one big shape in the middle and then 2 on the side. And I just render them as little spheres depending on where the light source is. So the light source is pretty strong down that way. I actually shouldn't even be rendering without having a background right now because the light source is so specific. But yeah, it's like my very, very quick down and dirty intro into rendering noses. Yeah, that's the kind of shameful part of YouTube, is like you gotta think, what will people actually watch, rather than, oh, let me just make this video since somebody asked for it. You're like, what will people watch and how can I make them want to watch it? It's the sad but not really that sad reality. Doom, doom, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, keeping in good posture. Wow, you guys know so much about me. Am I gonna upload this? Yeah, when I finish it. If I finish it though, because I'm gonna do a completely different drawing for tomorrow. Because I think people are more interested in seeing, I don't know. Can I do a poll on this thing? I might try and do a poll. I can't do it now. But I think I'm going to try and do a poll where, let's see before and after. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. It's not really dark enough. Yeah, I think it's better. Yeah, I was able to settle. There were very, very slight mistakes, but, you know, I'm very happy I was able to fix it. Oh, thanks, J Hobie Hope. Dark room? No. There's two. Yeah, I'm gonna do a video on this, but there's two big lights, like the size of my iPad, right there and right there. Then there's one regular lamp here. Then there's a basic, ceiling fan with some light on, and then that's it. My studio that I'm gonna have in about a month, unfortunately, doesn't have a window in it like this room does, but it's gonna be a whole room that I can have devoted to all of this art stuff, so it's gonna be great. So I'll be able to make it look however I want, and you guys will be able to see me, my face, and my body more than just this, but I'll also be testing that because, people didn't ask for it. So you always got to test. When you give people things they didn't ask for, you always got to test and see if they actually will enjoy it or not. Experimented with more complicated backgrounds. Not as much. I see myself as somebody studying still for faces, and so I really want to get good at that. Yes, I do enjoy faces more, but I still feel like I want to get better at that kind of thing first, because I don't want to get overwhelmed too quickly. Adding as much shadow as I can to her face because it's really pretty dark. The only places that have light are like this area on her nose, that area, both corners of her mouth that are outside of her nose, her cheekbone, and her temple. That's it. The tricky thing I found with rendering is the less you can blend, the better. The easier it is to have even tones, which is kind of counterintuitive, but I found it to be true. So, see you, Jennifer. Have a great day as well. You always, what was that comment? You always watch his lives while he's drawing. It's so soothing. Thank you. Tonight, plan on work. How do I decide to work on a drawing? It's tricky. Sometimes I'm just like, hey, let's look for a fun picture to draw, and then sometimes I'm like, I'm inspired by something else. And let me see if I can find an example. I haven't been super inspired lately. It's just been like, hey, let's find a picture to draw. This of course was from Game of Thrones. This one was a little bit different. It was kind of an experiment. I wanted to see if I could combine two faces, and I was able to do it. It's Billie Eilish and then another Asian girl that I think was just a model from Pinterest. But yeah, I've just been practicing, focusing on increasing my speed and stuff, so who I decide to draw is usually just somebody either famous or, a aesthetic photo from Pinterest or Instagram. Gerudo Valley soundtrack, yeah. Art schools, I think they're pretty good if you look into them well. I think they're not as necessary because art is really something that you can learn all of the skills for on your own if you're able to train yourself properly. But if you can't, or you need like encouragement, or you really benefit like a lot from having other people to challenge you, which I do too, but if you can't progress without it, then art school is definitely something you should look into. But I don't think you should feel like you have to do it, because I didn't go to an art school. I applied to one, but I didn't go there because they were very expensive. The one I applied to was SCAD, which is pretty world-renowned for a lot of things. If you're wondering, it's the best school in the world for interior design. Yeah. Good night, Hyro Arts and Music. Your friend said she's honored. Oh, really? You know who this is? Can you tell her to message me on Instagram or something? My Instagram is just at ergo.josh. 159. Are we gonna get to 60? Come on, somebody join. Oh my god, I've never seen this many people join my live stream. It's so cool. A160. Oh my god, I don't want to stop. I guess I have to keep drawing. I don't know. I should probably stick to my guns. No, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to a Q&A session where I just answer questions for about another 10 minutes. So those of you who are new can still, I guess, benefit from this. But I'm going to end the stream in 10 minutes after this little Q&A session or whatever. Drawing forever. Thanks. I'm getting better at like seeing the comments in time. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave this up. And I feel like I'm also getting to the point where the glare is affecting my drawing too much, because I can't really tell the values as well as I'd like to. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, I will answer, and try to be specific, like not how to draw. Do I draw the reference or add my own flair? I try to. At a certain point, I often will get rid of the reference and work on the drawing on my own. So like, for example, this one, you know, it's not exactly like the reference. The reference, she has a hoodie on and her hair isn't exactly the same, but at some point I was just like, I'm gonna add some more highlights on her lips, make her eyes a little bit more crazy, and add this like ethereal hoodie, you know, just a little bit of change, but nothing too crazy. What do I like drawing the most? Pretty girls from Pinterest. Why am I focused on girls so much? Because everybody loves girls so much. Except unless if they are K-pop characters, then I would probably only draw K-pop guys, because people love. My Jimin video did so crazy well. I don't know why. I know why, because it's Jimin. The 12-inch, yeah, this is the 12.9-inch iPad. The 2018 third generation K-pop. Yep. I have drawn some guys. Let me show you. We're still scrolling. Here's one. Wasn't that great, but it's a guy. There's another guy, one of my friends. Where are those three guys I drew? Hey, that's my profile picture. Not a guy though. Yeah, okay. Here's one. This is one I really like. He wasn't crying in the reference. FYI. K-pop will always blow up on YouTube. I know, right? I might do that tomorrow. I don't know. What motivated me to start a YouTube? I felt I was doing a lot of videos on Instagram where you could, oh, by the way, can you guys type in— but yeah, I've done a lot of videos on YouTube where I felt like, I mean, not YouTube, Instagram, where I was trying to teach people little things here and there, and it just felt like, why not? I'm not getting, I don't know, I just felt like I wasn't able to help people. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put on YouTube. And I did it. People liked it, so I did it a lot more. And then after my first video did really well, I came back after a week and had 6,000 views, where my last best video had 800 views. It was like, okay, this is crazy. 6,000 views. I've never even gotten 1,000 yet. That video blew up and now has over 500,000 views. So yeah, then I just started putting out a lot of videos. Oh, some of my OG people. Oh, 21 points. Yes, here. Oh, damn. You've been at a lot of streams. I can't wait to have something to use these points for. What brushes do I use to shade? I use mainly my mixer brush. Let's see. So I use mainly this mix brush. Why am I calling it mixer brush? I use a soft brush, and yeah, mainly those two. And then I'll just blend stuff with those two brushes and use other brushes. Sometimes I haven't really released this brush yet, but I also use my noise brush sometimes, which is basically like a little bit grainy version of your typical Photoshop airbrush, but has a little bit of grain to it, and I like using it for skin. 17 points. Ooh. Thanks. Any more questions? We still got 5 minutes. Still got 5 minutes, peeps. I wish Streamlabs was faster. Like you should be like, when you say points, it should be like, all right, here's how many points you have. It's just something I set up. I don't know what I'm going to use it for. Taeyang, where is she from? How did I develop my style? I don't really have a specific that I'm good. Like, I don't feel like I have one that's easily definable yet, other than the pink. But it's just a combination of me picking out things that I feel like are struggles, but I can embrace, and then emulating artists I like. So for example, I often struggle to get my values for the skin consistent. I mess them up a lot, so a lot of times I'll decrease the contrast and start over, and that gives it a very like romantic, very ethereal, dreamy look, and I'm finding that's kind of becoming my style. So this one I kind of did overkill with it, but I also did it on my latest portrait that I posted on Instagram. Like, there was a point in the process where, let me show you. So you can see the values are kind of messy now, but then I decrease, oh wait, I did it already? Whoa, I know I did this. Yeah. Guess it's kind of subtle. Oh yeah, there it is. So right here, you can see when I do that. So here is when they're kind of messy, and then I decrease the saturation, and then I come back and start adding really sharp highlights, and then kind of start over. Yeah, that took way too long. Taeyang from BTS. 18 points. Why do I use an iPad Pro instead of a PC and tablet? Because while I was working, I just quit my job and I didn't have time to draw like I wanted to. I wanted to do digital art, and I just couldn't bring myself to come back to my table and draw. I wanted to draw anywhere, wherever. I got a lot of drawing in on my lunch breaks, and so yeah, I got the iPad, and then I had a little Cintiq 16-inch Pro. And then I was like, you know what, I don't need this, and so I sold it. But soon I'm going to, I guess once I have my studio, I guess I'm really gonna seriously consider getting a Cintiq, because now I actually do have the time to always come back to a desk, and I think there's a huge audience out there that would love to be able to consume my content, my brushes with Photoshop. So yeah, I think I definitely will come back to tablets soon, especially since I'm going to review some in the near future. So look out for that. Cheaper alternatives to the iPad Pro, although they're not really alternatives because they're completely different devices. The Rock. How many mediums do I know how to use? 2, pencil and digital. That's it. One more minute for questions, guys. There's 150 of you watching. I know you got questions. You want to practice more with Illustrate, but you don't want to buy a tablet. What would I... More with Illustrate? I would say if you're a beginner, still practice with pencil and paper until you can buy a tablet. Like, the skills do carry over, for sure. Like, just try and find something fun to do if you don't like pencil and paper, but those, like, the skill you get there is still going to stay with you. It's all about keeping up the repetition day to day. Landscapes, no, not for a while. Like, I need to do bodies more first, and then I'm going to start doing, like, environments, like in buildings and stuff. But yeah, I don't do any sports. I just sit in my room and draw all day. Favorite anime? I'll tell you what I'm watching. Favorite animes, top 5. This will be my last question. Ghost in the Shell, Hunter x Hunter, Yu Yu Hakusho, Monster, and what else? I can't remember. No, Death Note. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will definitely be streaming tomorrow. I will be streaming probably around the same time. I'll be streaming. Yeah, I'll probably start at 3. And yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you guys for helping me hit 1 million views on my first video today. It's crazy. I hope we can do it many more times. And yeah, it has been such a great time. Thank you guys for watching again and subbing, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.